Justin Jefferson, the most receiving yards after 2 years, new head coach, new offense, Cooper Kupp role, has his eyes set on 2,000 yards this season. And I've gone back and forth on this, but I'm ready to stand firm on this with full conviction. Damn it, I think he's going to hit that mark. Cooper Kupp last year, 53 yards away from 2,000 yards himself. Kevin O'Connell comes from L.A., wants a similar concept. Jefferson, the featured player in this offense. The blueprint is laid out. Makes sense. Secondly, Jefferson continues to get better than he was before. There is no ceiling for this guy. All reports and accounts indicate that in training camp and in practice, Jefferson has been unstoppable, unguardable. Every typically exaggerated adjective you can think of applies to this man, except for him. It's not an exaggeration. It's literal. Featured player in what we all expect to be an explosive offense continues to add levels to his greatness. And then I think there's a third caveat that I think is important here if Jefferson is to hit 2K, which I think he will. Growing up as a kid, as a Vikings fan, I was in such awe of 84 Randy Moss, the GOAT receiver. Too many ways to count the impact that he had. Unguardable, even in double coverage. When you knew the Vikings had to throw up a prayer for dear life, Moss made the impossible a reality. Last name used as a verb. It reminds me of being a kid in grade school, shooting a paper ball in the trash can, yelling out, Kobe, or I guess nowadays it's Curry. I can't tell you how many times playing pickup football, how I would look forward to making an insane catch and yelling, Moss! Now, to be clear, if you were a quarterback and you threw the ball up to me that forced me to jump up and go get it, I would make that catch. But if you throw a laser dart bullet pass straight to my chest, it would bounce off my hands every single time. I wasn't shit. But what I think goes unappreciated outside of Minnesota, because Vikings fans, we know it's really good with Randy Moss, is that Moss might be the only player in NFL history to carry a team, to put a team on his back as a wide receiver. From 2000 to 2004, the time that I started following this team, to Moss's last year in Minnesota, the defensive rankings for the Minnesota Vikings, 24th, 26th, 30th, 23rd, 26th. Now, you could say the last 2 years, the Vikings defense was ass, but there's a difference because the main problem with this team, the last 2 years at least, goes beyond that for me personally, was the head coach. Whereas when Moss played, the biggest problem was the owner, Red McCombs. If you have a grumpy owner, that's not going to necessarily hit the players as fast as a head coach does in the locker room. So that's the major difference right there. Also, Moss made Dante Culpepper what he was in his prime. For those that swear up and down Culpepper is a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins, well, after Moss left, what was Culpepper? Well, in 2005, he got hurt. It doesn't count. Before he got hurt, that 2005 season, leading up to that, 6 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. After Moss left. Y'all don't want to have that conversation, do you? Also, Moss didn't have anywhere close to the supporting cast on offense that Jefferson has right now, and Moss carried this team multiple times in the playoffs. Can Jefferson have that type of impact with what should be a better defense, better supporting cast of playmakers, a head coach that we believe knows what the fuck he's doing, that when shit hits the fan, you need one play to put you over the top? Can Jefferson do that for this team? Yes, he can. All of that combined is why I believe Justin Jefferson will hit 2,000 yards this season.